Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 22nd of August for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the broad strands to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces. Now, as this week begins, Mercury, the ruler of the sign of Virgo, is forging a tremendous angle to Pluto. So there's a sense that the analysis that Mercury in Virgo provides at the best of times is heightened even more by this combination. Now the Sun on Tuesday also powers into Virgo. So a very Virgoan energy is starting to develop. Some may call this Virgo season. So what is the sign of Virgo about? It's the sixth zodiac sign. It's ruled by Mercury, of course. It is an earth sign, but also it's mutable in terms of its quality. So very much to do with flexing. But it's asking us to use our precision and discrimination to get some of the finer details of our situations working that much more efficiently. And that can be something that can give us a great deal of pleasure. It may not sound very sexy, but actually, if the main parts of our world are running in a well-ordered way, that frees up energy. And of course, the sign of Virgo is about health as well as virtue. So we have an opportunity over the next 5 weeks to really take these areas a lot more seriously, particularly as there is a Virgo new moon on Saturday, which is going to be particularly influential because it's squaring up to the mighty Mars in the sign of Gemini. Also, Mars is forging an exuberant link with Jupiter this week, which can give us a lot more desire to live in the moment. But the clash between Mars and the new moon suggests we shouldn't try too hard to be too perfect, to try to strip out too many parts of our existence which may be a little bit indulgent. It's about finding a nice balance. But also this week, Uranus slams on the brakes, the last of the higher octave planets to do so, and will be in retrograde through to the 22nd of January next year. But there's a T-square later this week between Saturn, Uranus and Venus. And in fact, Venus and Saturn are going to be exactly opposite one another. So any relationship where one partner tends to be quite sacrificing and hardworking, particularly on the domestic front, and the other person tends to be a bit more focused on their own needs, that could cause some frosty relations as this week draws to a close. But also on Friday, Mercury moves into the sign of Libra. So whatever happens this week, however much we're trying to reform certain areas of our life, whether it's to do with decluttering, clearing out drawers, recycling stuff that we don't need anymore, perhaps getting a bit fitter, looking at what we're eating and seeing if we can make some improvements, perhaps considering some physical health treatments such as massage or aromatherapy. All that virtue is going to be tested by that T-square that involves Saturn. So when Mercury moves into Libra at the end of this week, important to listen, because I do think a bit more of a critical vibe is going to start to develop as this week draws to a close. Please stay with me for your in-depth forecast, but if you are wanting to ascend above zodiac astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place, I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life. This can help you to understand some of the difficult patterns that may have come up over the years, but also highlight the opportunities that maybe you can embrace a bit tighter. But also with this, you will get a forecast as well, and 30% off with my special offer. Now you can get the rest of this year free as well as the whole of year 2023 within this forecast, please see the link below. Now, if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be grateful if you did so now. If you have already, thank you so much. So Capricorn, your week commencing the 22nd of August forecast sees the sun on Tuesday make its way into your sister earth sign of Virgo. Virgo, of course, is concerned with purity, with reforming things in an efficient way, but the ninth house is actually a very adventurous area. So I think for you, your mind can open, your horizons can widen over the next few weeks and in a very energized way. It's possible if you're wanting to travel, this is going to be a real trigger to help you. Also, Mercury, the planet that governs the sign of Virgo, is in a very helpful link to Pluto in your sign. If you need to analyze or think about something, you can do so with great clarity but great depth, and that can be very helpful to you. Now, later this week, Mercury actually climbs into your 10th house. If you have thought about using your past experiences to change your work prospects going forwards, this could be a time when the educational elements of the ninth house energy of the sun could, together with Mercury moving into your midheaven, see you thinking about retraining for a new type of work. That's possible for some Virgos. But also there's a very high energy link between Mars and Jupiter this week. This could see you keen to clear out some more space at home, change things around. Any thing you do that creates a sense that things are freeing up will really be very cathartic. But later this week, the new moon does link in a right angle with Mars. Now, Mars is in a part of your horoscope that's to do with where we direct our energies in terms of the practicalities of life. So it's quite a Virgoan type of energy. But Mars, of course, is about instant gratification. And the sun in the ninth house combining with the moon is about you finding a little bit of escapism. So you may find yourself having to juggle some of your obligations with another need that wants to do your own thing. But generally speaking, I think your energy is really going to be picking up as this week goes on. Uranus does go into a retrograde in your sector of self-expression through to the 22nd of January and does forge a rather tense angle with an opposition between your ruler Saturn and Venus. When it comes to your financial affairs, we're all facing big headwinds, increasing costs, not necessarily increasing earnings. Your flexibility and imagination and even innovation can be important to responding to this challenge. But I just feel that when it comes to a personal relationship, if someone close to you is not being quite as disciplined as you about spending money or has a more devil-may-care attitude to resources, and you're being much more cautious, that could bring in a little bit of a tension and a tender point between you.